there, tech fans. Rick here again with a full review of the Orei HDA-929 HDMI ARC and eARC audio extractor. This product will automatically separate the audio component from any HDMI media stream and then allow you to pass that audio along to a soundbar with ARC or eARC compatibility through an HDMI connection or to an older soundbar or home stereo through a standard HDMI connection. The product fully supports 4K ultra high definition media content as a pass-through function and is also HDMI 2.0B as well as HDCP 2.2 compliant, so you know it's going to work with all of your modern media gear. Now, as part of this review, I'd like to start with a quick unboxing just to show you everything that's included with the kit, and that way you'll understand exactly what you get if you decide this product is right for you. And then I'll take a closer look at the unit, explain the connections and indicators so you understand how to use it with your own equipment. I'll do a quick demonstration, and then I'll come back and point out a few things that really separates this particular audio extractor from other products you might be considering. So let's get started with the unboxing. There's not a lot inside the box, to be honest with you. When you first open up the box, you'll find the HDA-929. You'll also find a single 5-volt DC 1-amp power supply. You can simply plug this into any standard wall outlet. The other end has a barrel connection on it which plugs into the back of the unit and provides all the power you'll need for operation. Also included is a full instruction manual that lists connection diagrams, specifications, and other really important details about the unit that you'll need to understand in order to use it correctly. So always read through that manual. Now, if you stay tuned next, I'll take a closer look at the unit so you understand how to use it. I'll do the demonstration, and then I'll come back and point out a few things that I really like about this particular product, because this unit allows you to mix and match your newer media gear with your older audio equipment or even your brand new soundbar. So stay tuned for the closer look next. The Orei HDA-929 features a full metal enclosure which makes it incredibly durable and really the perfect solution for either a commercial or a residential installation. On either side of the cabinet, you'll find ventilation slots, and those are designed to let any heat that develops during Operation escape, and it keeps the electronics inside at a very comfortable temperature. On the front of the unit, starting on the left, you'll find a power LED. The minute you add power to the unit, it immediately starts an internal power on self-test where it's checking the electronics just to make sure everything is working okay. Once it passes that test, it'll light that LED, letting you know the unit's ready to use. To the right of that is an input LED. When you connect this up to a media device that you'd like to extract the audio from, that connection is checked. Once it's been verified, this LED will light up, letting you know you have a solid connection. To the right of that are two more output indicators. When you connect this unit up to a soundbar or home stereo with one of the outputs, that connection is checked as well. Once it's been verified, these LEDs will light up, again letting you know you have a solid connection. To the right of that is an ARC eARC indicator. This unit checks for an ARC and eARC compatibility signal on the audio equipment. When it finds that signal, it'll light this LED, letting you know that it found a component that's compatible with either ARC or eARC. Finally, to the right of that is a button you can use to turn on and off the ARC or eARC function. You can tap that again to turn it on or turn it off. To the right of that is a service port. That's a micro USB port that's used for updating the firmware on the product later on if new versions come out. And you can simply connect this to your computer with a short cable, move the firmware file to the product to finish that upgrade. Now, under normal operation, the power indicator, the input indicator, one or both of the output indicators, and possibly the ARC eARC indicator will be on. On the rear of the units where you'll make all your connections, starting on the left, you'll find an HDMI port labeled Source In, and that connects to the media device you'd like to extract the audio from with a standard HDMI cable. To the right of that are three more HDMI ports. The first one is labeled ARC eARC Soundbar. So if you have a soundbar that's ARC or eARC compatible, you can connect an HDMI cable from here to the HDMI input on that soundbar and use the ARC and eARC audio. To the right of that is another output labeled ARC eARC TV. This connects to your monitor or your widescreen TV that you'd like to enjoy the content on. And then finally, there's a third connection over here called Audio Only Out Number 2. And this can be used with older soundbars or stereos that are not ARC or eARC compatible that use a standard HDMI connection for audio input. So you have a choice of using the ARC eARC for output or the Audio Only for output. And again, the middle one connects to your monitor. Finally, on the right is a power port, and that's used with the included power supply. You'll simply plug that power supply into the wall. The other end of that cable has a barrel connection on it, which plugs in right there and provides all the power you'll need for operation. Now I'll show you the connections you'll need to make to use this product with your own equipment. And for this demonstration, in front of me I've set up a small media player that's currently looping a video in this monitor with music in the background. and that's the media content that I'd like to separate the audio component from so I can pass it along to my new soundbar. Right here I've got a brand new soundbar that's both HDMI ARC and eARC compliant, and that's the connection I'd like to use for the best possible audio quality. In front of me, I have the HDA-929. Now the first connection I'll make is from the output device to the unit, then I'll connect up the media player and finally the soundbar. So to connect the monitor up, I'll disconnect it from the media player, plug that into the HDMI output port in the back of the unit, and now I need to connect the media player back up to the product, and I'll do that with another HDMI cable, and these are both high-speed HDMI cables. You need those for HDMI ARC and eARC. So I'll plug this into the HDMI input port in the back of the unit, and then finally I can connect up my soundbar. I've got another high-speed cable right here, and I'll plug that into the soundbar output for HDMI ARC. Now there's also a connection on here for standard HDMI if you've got an older soundbar, but we want to use the ARC and eARC connection for the best possible audio. And now we're all set to connect up the power supply. I've already plugged that in. The other end of that cable has a barrel connection on it, which plugs directly into the DC port in the back of the unit. Now the minute I add power, the unit starts an internal power on self-test to check the electronics. It's checking the media, it's checking the soundbar connection, it's checking the monitor connection, making whatever adjustments are needed to give you the best possible picture, and then pass the audio along to the soundbar. Now it does take a second for that self-test to finish, and you'll notice there's no audio. I'm going to walk through the menus on the soundbar to show you that we're actually on HDMI ARC. It's Bluetooth,
USB, aux VA,
optical,
HDMI in,
that's the standard HDMI. The next one is HDMI ARC.
HDMI eARC.
There's your audio. So what's interesting is you've got a media player that's outputting a standard HDMI media stream that's got audio and video in it. The HDA-929 is actually recognizing that. It's separating the audio from that media stream, converting it to an HDMI ARC and eARC signal, and outputting that to the soundbar. So it's making that standard player compliant with a brand new HDMI ARC and eARC soundbar, which again gives you the best quality audio. So it's an incredibly easy product to use, and with a few simple connections, it's up and running. So it really is just that easy to get it connected. I hope that closer look and demonstration were helpful. Now here are a few really important things to keep in mind when you're comparing the Orei HDA-929 with other audio extractor products you may be considering. And the first thing has to do with the ARC and eARC support that this product provides. Now, a lot of audio extractors in the market will easily separate the audio from any HDMI media stream, but they may only provide an analog output, which works okay with older stereos and older soundbars, but not with newer soundbars that require ARC and eARC support. And some of them provide analog outputs as well as digital outputs through an optical connection or an HDMI connection. But again, that's an older standard, which works great with older stereos and older soundbars. This unit provides an ARC and eARC output through a standard HDMI connection, which is exactly what you need for a newer soundbar that requires ARC or eARC connectivity, and that provides a wider range of codecs and the best possible audio. And the nice thing about this unit is it provides two digital outputs. One of them is an HDMI connection for ARC or eARC. The other is an HDMI connection with standard audio. So you can actually use this with brand new equipment that has ARC and eARC compatibility, or even older equipment that uses a standard HDMI connection. So you've got the best of both worlds in digital output. Another key distinction with this product is the level of certification provided. This unit is both HDMI 2.0B and HDCP 2.2 compliant. And the reason that's important is because the HDMI standard has gone through a lot of changes in recent years, a lot of new features and functions built in, and knowing you're on the latest version of HDMI means you can take advantage of all those features. The HDCP certification is important as well because that controls copy protection, and if you're on an older version of HDCP, it may limit the type of files you can actually play through the unit. And the last thing I'd like to mention is this unit fully supports 4K ultra high definition media content, and that's super important because you're passing your media through the device to your monitor, and if it supported a lower resolution, you wouldn't have full functionality and full resolution on that monitor. So knowing you've got a product that's on the latest version of HDMI, latest version of HDCP, and supports 4K ultra high definition media content, you're going to see the media content on your display the way it came from that media player, while it's simultaneously extracting the audio and allowing you to pass that along to a soundbar. So it's a great unit, it's incredibly easy to use, and everything you need to get started is included with the kit. So I hope you found this review helpful. I think it's a great product. I've used it quite a long time with my new soundbar, and it just works really well. So thanks an awful lot for watching, and as always, until next time, stay nerdy.